Hello and welcome into the SorareData Game Week 428 preview. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined once again by Quinny, who you can find as Quinny on Sorare. Today, talk about some midweek action following a return from the international break, which caused some rotation headaches, I think, this weekend, and it's only going to get a little sloppier. So we'll get into that in a second. Thank you to everybody for joining. Looks like SR Monkey was here first, here for the pick scores. So it's a little dig at me from me fighting people on the internet yesterday, including David. Peter, what's up? And I think Chani is on the podium with these guys, even though he didn't call it. But he said, beware of, and he corrected himself later, Bayern Munich and Leverkusen lineups. Feel like it's completely off with how little the game means to both teams. And I think we're going to see that quite a bit. Or at least we'll have that discussion about quite a bit. It's Wilson. What's up? Mike Baston, good to see you. We got Pineapple and Fist Bump Time. Love that. Soul, David Alves, Charlie, Ian, what's up? Thank you, everybody, for joining Parrot Press. Hello. Parrot Press, I saw randomly on Twitter just now a few new super rare purchases. Haven't watched the video yet, but that's always exciting. Always exciting and extremely nerve-wracking. And Louis?
Hi.
Hello. Louis? What would you say?
Louis.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Quinny, how much rotation do you usually expect in these games that are not the last games, but also they're really nothing to play for these European competitions?
I think it depends on some of the individual teams and where they're at. So on Channy's point, let's see on both those teams he mentioned, Leverkusen and Munich, both of them obviously very vehemently going for the Bundesliga title against one another. Both their group stages somewhat, I think, completely sewn up probably for Munich as well as Leverkusen. But I think with Munich, it's a little bit different because they're at home. In Copenhagen, we're quite close to, they've got 4 points on the board. Yeah, Bayern Munich are home and host on 12, but they won't want to be the fools. Bayern Munich being at home at Copenhagen. So there's a wee bit of that I think will be balanced out. But I think Channy's probably on the right kind of point there. They do have some younger players that have had some minutes in cup games and whatnot. So maybe some of those guys get a Champions League debut that aren't in the predicted 11s and stuff like that. I could see it for sure. But I don't think it would be maybe as much like we were very surprised, I think, in match day 1 or 2 when Leverkusen went away to Malmo and they made tons of changes, or Molda or whoever they had, because we thought, that's a decent away game for match day 2, but they didn't care and they rotated everyone. And this game for playing Hacken, again, Wirtz might not start this, Boniface might not start it. We could see it very easily being way more rotated than the usual pattern that we've seen from Leverkusen. So I think that'll probably bite. I think Leverkusen will probably bite more people than Munich, but I think it kind of depends on the individual team, doesn't it?
It does seem like we're more likely on the, I feel like Bayern just don't have, this sounds crazy because they obviously have the depth, but it doesn't seem like they're quite as deep as Leverkusen right now in terms of injuries and everything, that they're going to be guys that you're like, oh, he doesn't even have a card because he's 12 and he just is some sort of German wonder kid.
Yeah.
Come down, you're just like, oh yeah, he has, 185 goals in the U8s and, but he's going to have to play this Champions League game because it doesn't mean anything. But we'll get into all of that. And Chani was also saying Leverkusen are play Dortmund next weekend. So it's obviously a big match for that.
Way more important.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's dive in. We've got Liverpool at the top playing at home. That's another one that tends to.
That's
rotate.
a saucy one.
Yeah.
That's be careful what you wish for a fixture.
Exactly. So that's Europa League. We have Ghent at home against a gray badge. Who are these guys? Zorya Luhansk.
Ukrainians. We've seen them play this weekend against Maccabi in the thing.
Yes. Joris Van overrated. Shout out to Johannatan, not giving me the 100 that I was expecting, unfortunately. Newly minted Palmeiras with a domestic league game in Brazil. They are playing America. And then, Bayern home against Copenhagen and West Ham away to Baka Topola. Is that how we're going to say that?
Yeah.
I don't know. West Ham's another one that rotates pretty heavily. But we have basically all those. We do have some Asian Champions League and some English Championship. We got everything. All the fun stuff. All the fun midweek stuff. trying to just see if there. Oh yeah, and some Liga MX playoffs, of course. How could I forget? Liga MX? Let me just scroll down and make sure I think we're missing some odds here. Yeah, we've got this America Leon match. So Leon beat Santos last night, so that's why they advanced. We don't have odds for them. And then I think that's Peru, Colombia. Damn, I do this every time.
Cali, I think it's Colombia. Yeah.
Colombia. Yeah. Yep. So jumping into everybody's favorite second division, Europe, we just have England, I believe. We do. But it looks like a full slate here with Leeds at the top after they were the top for this past weekend. What did that end up? Oh, it only finished 1-1. I got all these messages that there was a Somerville Rudder combination, 2 cards I used to have and sold very early, and oof. But ended up not being as dominant as I expected.
Yeah, I think there's maybe just about a little bit of a team in there that somebody might have played, a wee Cooper, Somerville Router maybe or something.
Yeah.
Just maybe, but yeah, that's definitely not what we expected for sure.
SR Monkey said, we'll get to, Pohang was at the top of that all-star list as well. He said they have 2 games to go and are locked in the group winners. I expect heavy rotation. That happens after I believe they rotated this past weekend, though. I say that by one player that I know of rotated. So, and let's see, we've got Leeds, Hull, Sunderland, Southampton, and Ipswich are the top 5, that we have, and then Leicester in terms of second division, which we only have 3 of those minted, and not currently minted, right?
Yeah.
And
that's a good one for Leicester playing Sheffield Wednesday, bottom of the league, conceded 29-17. That's a good one. I'm just trying to spot the badge who are playing Leeds, but I don't recognise it. I kind of recognise it, but I don't. Swansea. Oh, I thought it was Chef. Where's Swansea in the league? I still got the old badge on the website I'm on. That must be a new badge that they've done. A kind of throwback thing or something.
Yeah. It looks like a brand new old badge.
Swansea's like close to the bottom themselves.
Yeah. Glory days are not now. I mean, that's some decent matchups. Like you could Southampton. I will say that I got it's not even an inside scoop because it was all public, but Sam Ty is our Southampton expert and was saying that he's expecting Sulemana to get benched for this midweek game after getting pulled off at 55 or so this past weekend for disagreeing with the manager.
Love it when that happens.
We'll put it that way. It sounds like he was going to get subbed early anyway because he wasn't training fully, and then he made one questionable decision and right.
Oh yeah, taking me off. One of them. Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I'm guessing it was probably the opposite, where he was just like, "I know, I messed up. You can come."
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, yeah, here's the Watford home against Norwich. Excuse me. And nothing else seems to jump out. These are all pretty close. I don't think anybody's going out there with a Stoke stack. Can you even get a Stoke stack?
Ooh. Haksabanovic.
It's a decent number of cards, minus a goalie.
Korean guy. Mai, that guy on the bench, I recognise him. A Wesley, who knows which one. Somebody called Burger in midfield.
Is it Wesley?
It is. Living his best life in D2.
That's right.
And there's a guy called Burger in midfield, mate.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Wutterburger.
What a burger that was.
Oh, yeah. How do I not have a card of his? Surely I need to get one of those. Anyway, so yeah, I think you're feeling pretty good with the Leeds, Southampton, and Leicester cards. I think you're
Leicester definitely look like the most fun of the 3, I think, just by how bad Sheffield Wednesday look. Even at home, when you check their home form this year, like they are second bottom. They've conceded 12 out of 8 home games, only scored 4 times at home, 8 matches again, I repeat, only 1 victory. So, like, Sheffield to Leeds also, I don't believe it's much of a journey. Not a master of English geography, but I don't think it's that far to go. So, yeah, for a midweek, it's probably as good as it gets for an away fixture.
Yeah. Man. They lost 4-0 to Millwall last time out at home.
Yeah.
Alex Wilson, there's only one real burger.
Love it.
So yeah, Asian Champions League, we have...
Incredible. Now, see, when you mentioned there was a Mexican games, I thought, I'll go check the prize pool and see what the cards are like in Champion America. And I noticed again, the cards in Champion Asia are like double it. And I was like, I wonder what's on in Champion Asia. But no, it's just some bits and pieces again.
What are we doing here? Just the end of season, everybody gets
and
to
second
win.
division Europe's behind it as well, significantly.
So Champion Asia, 73 cards. And how many licensed teams do we have? Pohang, Urawa, Jeonbuk, and that's it. 3 licensed teams. Obviously, Al Hilal has some licensed players.
Yeah.
It's actually not that many, right? They've probably 5, right?
Something like that. It's not many.
Malcolm, Ruben Neves, and Koulibaly, because Neymar's out. Oh, SMS. I don't know if he's hurt or what.
Yeah, I have to keep up with
it. Sora Soul's asking if it's based on the volume of card zone. I thought it was licensed. It must be cards and not just licensed teams, but there are not even that many licensed cards in here.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it's double second division.
Right.
Even,
I'm shocked to see Wuhan 3 towns as such significant underdogs. But I guess
maybe a lack of odds kind of thing. Maybe it skews that one, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe they're just domestic dominant and rubbish in Europe, maybe. Or continental.
Certainly rubbish in Europe. Yeah. So Al Hilal against... Ooh, I don't know if we've seen this one before.
Nov Bahor. Sounds like it has to be like quite close to like Albania and those kind of places, Armenia and stuff. It feels like it should be maybe Kazakhstan.
Those are European though. It's Asia.
Oh, so they are. Yeah. Turkmenistan. It'll be like Turkmenistan or
one of the stands. You think?
One of those ones that's like next to Kazakhstan that didn't get lucky enough to get into UEFA.
Uzbekistan.
There we go.
Let's see how far they are.
Namagan. People play football everywhere, man.
I did not know. There are a lot of names in this area that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, it's like alphabet soup, isn't it?
Totally. Anyway, they've got Al Hilal hosting them, so good luck to them.
Turbo. What a name. But yeah, so I thought that was quite interesting. So anyone who's still got the Pohang and the Urawa cards, they'll be, shooting fish in a barrel again this midweek, perhaps. So good result, bad result. Yeah, we don't really see too much from people saying, "Oh, look at what I've bagged in Champion Asia." There's not been any humble brag, or I don't know if you would even call it a humble brag, but just if maybe try to keep it a secret. Yeah, I don't know if maybe all these Asian hardcore collectors are just trying to keep it on the hush, and we keep trying to spill the beans on them.
Yeah, I mean, that's second division. Hold on. Champion Asia, where did that go? I'm just kind of curious who the stars are. Like, there are 3 stars left in Champion Asia. So if you win Champion Asia that rare this week, you win one of these cards.
I got that Ichimori as a tier 2 or tier 1 recently in All-Star. So
I won Wakazaka once in All-Star. I think he was a star or a tier 1. Man.
So yeah.
And then the second division, you can't even win a star in second division.
Oh, really?
That's sad. Who are the second division stars?
Goalkeepers.
I was just about to say it's a lot of goalkeepers. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, prize pool is terrible. Even a tier 2 isn't worth much.
Yeah, that tier 2 is not worth much is better than 0. Yeah, it's always worth more than nothing.
That's right. Palmeiras at the top of America, quite comfortably, actually.
Yeah.
And then what did we say? We're missing America and Leon. Which I assume America will be favored in that match. I'm surprised we don't have any of these, although they're not licensed anyway. So it was a good point from Glenn here. Ichimori might not even be with Marinos next year because he's on loan. He was the third keeper at Gamba. And now he's a star. Anyway.
He's a star. I was going to say the Brazilian league is another one of these game weeks where it just feels like Brazil always plays football, and they're, again, here we are in the midweek, a lot of teams there. I know we've not got many cards or clubs, obviously Palmeiras joining recently, but, the Brazilian calendar feels infinite. So,
yeah.
And then, Argentina, there's a bunch of Argentina still going as well.
Yep.
So,
Mineiro, away to Flamengo is not great. Corinthians, we had those. Fortaleza. Alex Wilson said Gil is suspended for Corinthians. Maybe. I know he had 2 conceded penalties this past weekend. Scored a solid 0. Poor guy.
Love that.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. I'm pretty sure that was the case. Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Oofed.
2 conceded penalties. Oh, and a yellow. So maybe the yellow makes him suspended.
I was going to say, is that picture for his Facebook profile or something?
What do you think, walked into the photo room when they took the picture? He was like,
it must be, I don't know, Neymar. Somebody, it had to be somebody cool, or something.
Right.
Maybe I've never seen that picture before, but it did really strike me there. But sometimes the club photographer, you can tell he's got a theme going this season, where it's like either the side on or the straight on or the arms folded, obviously, or maybe they were going for the whole, natural caught in, caught in motion, the real you heel. We want to see the real you.
That's right. Yeah. If anybody wants to confirm or deny that Gil is suspended for this midweek, that would be helpful. So we could update his projected. He's only 71%. I'm guessing those are guesses before the yellow came in. So looks like there are a number of people who think otherwise. Only 1 for the out of squad. So we'll see. So yeah, I think second division Europe will be much more competitive in terms of higher scores than America, just based on the number of cards we have here. Challenger, obviously Liverpool are not a challenger team, but they're playing one. But Ghent, Rangers, AZ, Budo, if I remember that correctly, and then Sturm Graz all the way down here.
Quite open. Celtic are playing Lazio away. I don't think that'll be a good fixture on the matchup indicator. And I think, Genk playing Fiorentina. I don't know who Ghent have there, but so Porto playing Barca. There's not a lot of good championship challenger fixtures even, is there? Again, I feel like we've said that a few times perhaps, but again, quite an open region it looks like.
Yeah, in terms of Ghent, and Alex, thank you for bringing this up. He said I would expect Nardi and Net for Europe now. They have been going back and forth, and I thought that I always get it mixed up because I don't actually have either of them. But I thought Rofe had gotten a few extra start. Used to be Nardi. Let me go back so I don't mess this up. I thought it was Nardi domestic in the domestic league and Rofe, in conference, and it seems like they switched. So now Rofe, Nardi now in the conference league. Wait a minute.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, Nardi in conference league. So based on the rotation, Nardi should be in there now.
Good luck to all those rolling that dice.
It feels slightly understandable. It seemed like that was their plan. Obviously, they switched it, but the plan stayed the same. The names just kind of changed. They were going to have one for their domestic games and one for Europe, and so now we're just
I feel like as well, but see, even looking at that roof there, L1561. Let's see what Nardi's is. It feels like it just cripples a pair of them 47. Or maybe he's getting a bit of the shine cap-wise off the situation. But just feel like sometimes those DNPs, they don't really do much to pull the score down, So if you do come in infrequently and you do okay, then like you seen with Rolf there, he's L1561. It's probably not an accurate picture of his form.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
but, obviously it's not saying it's wrong, but yeah.
Mickey said Sturm won the first matchup against the Polish team, and they're now at home. Here they are. Is that Sherpin's team?
Yeah.
No.
So is that Conference League?
No, Europa.
Europa, I beg your pardon.
But Sherpin rested this weekend?
Oh, yeah. So that group is mad tight. This is a 6-pointer for Strumgratz at home to Rakow. Like he says there. Sporting Lisbon are on 7. Atalanta, beg your pardon, are on 10. Yeah, so they're playing each other. So, only, who knows what happens there. Third place obviously gets into the Europa Conference League, so Strumgratz getting something in this game basically guarantees that. But if they do want to try and catch Sporting Lisbon, like you say, they need to get the 3 points here and hope Atalanta do them a turn.
Yeah. Sporting
Strumgratz will be going for it.
Yeah, Sporting are away to Atalanta this midweek. So that's a tougher matchup for them for sure.
Yeah. Good motivation in that game.
What's that?
Strumgratz at home. Good motivation in that game. Strumgratz at home. I like that. Oh, and we seen them last week as well, and they duly delivered, didn't they? Praser 78, Gazabegovic 98. They were one of the top games of the weekend. Good to see some high scores there.
Yeah,
maybe not quite the full stack. Sakaria lighting you down probably, but yeah, midfield defense good. Kind of warm up for this game, I think. At home as well on the bounce, 2 games.
Yeah, if anyone knows what this Sherpin Maric situation is.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to trade one U23 goalie for another. But yeah, Challenger looks, let's see. Rangers against, who is this?
Limassol. Cyprus.
Mm-hmm.
So they should do them. There's not that many Rangers cards. I think there's like 9 Cantwell rares or something like that. You get Danilo, you get a few Dessers.
They had a tough one this past weekend.
Yes, it was brilliant. They just got away with it, and it's did. Like I had. On you go.
I was gonna say I had Kelly Roos from Aberdeen and Stefan Gartenman, and Roos was like on his head all day. I think he had 9 saves inside the box. He was ready for 100, and I pair him with Gartenman. Gartenman concedes a penalty at the 94th minute to ruins his score, ruins Roos's score. We were flying.
Yeah.
Flying.
Rangers, man. Always happens. I went to the Man City game at the weekend with a good friend of mine who's a Rangers fan. And then Celtic played at 3:00. So when we left City, we're coming back to Glasgow because we both had something to do at 7:00. So it was like a real get down, watch the game and go back home kind of thing. And we had the Celtic game on the radio when we were like driving up the road. And obviously the Celtic game wasn't great either. We get 2 penalties, missed one. And I was getting that in the ear from him the whole drive up back from Manchester. Celtic always get penalties and and he's saying all the stuff that I'm normally saying about them, and I'm like, check yourself. And then wouldn't you know it, 94th minute penalty to Rangers. You couldn't write it, so it's an interesting weekend. I heard no one on the show cared too much, but there was a semi kind of famous pundit in Scotland on the radio right after the Motherwell game saying Rangers, it's now 3 points. Rangers are going to beat Aberdeen. They're going to win their game in hand against St Johnstone. And then Celtic play Rangers the day before New Year. And he's like, it's going to come down to that game. There's 3 points in it because Rangers will beat Aberdeen tomorrow and they'll do this and they'll do that. And obviously, they never. So all the drama's happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, these 2 clowns right here. That was it.
That Rubizic, by the way, I went to Celtic Aberdeen before the international break. That Rubizic is mental. Like, he is he puts his head in where it hurts. Like, and he just goes for it. Like, so if he's the guy, it feels like he'll be making all the mistakes in defence for you, in terms of the points, and make the other guys look a little bit better. Yeah. He's the guy giving all the fouls away, losing the duels.
He got a lot of yellows to make.
Free kicks. Yeah, he eats all that up for your boy Gartman there.
Good. Back to this. Vita saying Sherpin was sick, so we'll do what all regular people should do. Expected back in, so let's put him back in.
What was our guy's name? Maric.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking I didn't realise that was their backup. I didn't look into it, obviously, but we talk about handcuffs and the value of them so often. He's £3 now for a limited, £50 for a rare. Still quite cheap, I think, isn't it? But, Sherpin, did they buy him? Is he on loan? I'm not too sure. But a wee handcuff like that, it's probably not going to hurt you too much,
Yeah, he's on loan from Brighton still.
Yeah. I like that.
Not bad there. Jonathan said Maccabi Tel Aviv is not showing in Challenger. Oh, all right. Indeed, it is not. We'll see what happens.
There's a comment there from Bouncy. Tavernier scored 5 penalties in the last 5 league games.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Ugh.
That's what. Oh, let me see. It's one of those that, L15. He's 5 of 7. 7 penalty attempts in the last 15 games.
In the league only.
4 of 6 in his last 5 games.
6 in the last 5. Oh, they love a penalty.
I guess so.
It's a shame that's not a separate icon for the goal, if you know what I mean. Like, that's a shame. You'd be able to spot that. Like, don't think it's necessary, but is it for SD? But yeah, funny to see.
Means Vernier scored 12 penalties against Aberdeen.
You can believe it.
Anyway, going over to Champion Europe, obviously we had Liverpool there from the Challenger one because they were heavily favored against the Challenger team. Bayern, West Ham, Arsenal, Aston Villa. It's a lot of home games other than West Ham, I guess. Man City against Leipzig.
Yep.
Leverkusen, Barcelona. Let's check these tables here. Who cares? Who needs to care? We already talked about Bayern. Arsenal. I didn't even see who they were actually playing.
City and Leipzig is completely dead rubber. Like, there's nothing. None of them could care less about that fixture. Like, the other 2 teams are on 1 point each. Like, nothing's, that's done. I think the Barca game's a bit tighter. Barca and Porto both on 9 points. Antwerp are not in the mix for anything anymore, really. But certainly the top 3 spots could really juggle around over the last 2 fixtures. So I don't think anything will be taken too lightly. Don't think
Antwerp aren't dead, though, right? Antwerp win.
They're not. They're not. But like,
I'm just saying they have to beat Shakhtar this game week, and then, as we said, neither of these teams care, so they'll have to just get a win against Barcelona or Porto.
Yeah,
I mean, it's unlikely, but they're not dead yet. Not dead yet,
I suppose. Is it more likely than Antwerp, or is it less likely? Where's Celtic? What do they look like again? Because I've said Celtic have got a wee hope. Yeah, Celtic have got a wee hope.
Yeah.
We've got a point.
Sure do.
We've got a wee hope.
Who had this table?
Hoofed. I'm buzzing for Sociedad this game week. Sociedad are at home at Salzburg, and if they win, they're confirmed. Easy peasy. And Sociedad ripped Salzburg apart. Like, I think it was the first game of the group. No, maybe this must have been the second. So I'm quite excited for that one as a kind of champion kind of outlier. PSG, Newcastle, there'll be a lot of temperature in that. So let's look into this. Sorry, I'm all over the place. But yeah, beat Benfica 3-1 the last time out. There's Salzburg 2-0.
Yeah, they just went there and ripped them. Not bad. Benfica, man.
The Napoli group's quite interesting. Braga are playing Union Berlin in this game, and Union Berlin have just changed their manager and stuff. So if Braga get 3 points in this game, they've maybe put a wee bit of pressure on second if Real Madrid beat Napoli. So depends on what your disposition is with some of these cards, but it's kind of, still some stuff up in the air there. If Union Berlin get a result, they're on 4 points. Maybe Union Berlin cards come back to life. If you fancy Berlin to bounce back, because they're a covered team, so maybe there's something there.
Yeah, get Braga out of there. No cards at Braga. We don't need them advancing anything we need. Glenn said Antwerp are toast because they have to go away to Barca in match day 6. But again, It's a Barca that doesn't care. I'm sure they'll still destroy them. I'm just saying. Alex said Union Berlin and a result do not go together. It's
Fair.
the old one. Who knows? All right. We have any tough ones in? I don't see any like big. Milan hosting Dortmund. That should be good.
USG Toulouse is a big 6-pointer. Both of them, well, Toulouse are on 7, USG are on 4, but Lask are playing Liverpool. So that should maybe take Lask out of the equation for one of those teams in that group, maybe, depending on between Toulouse and USG, kind of who gets the 3 points in this game. So that's a bit of an interest there for a lot of Sorare cards, certainly. Both teams should be going right at it, full pedal to the metal and full strength, no messing about.
Yeah. For anyone who heard that and is confused, some may know them as Tool House. Just in case you were unaware. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that.
Sorry. Brighton as well. Brighton are like a funny position. Who did Ajax have? Are Ajax playing Marseille then, I take it? This is Europa League I'm looking at, I think. That group's very much alive. Yeah. So Ajax on 2 points at the moment, Marseille on 8. But Marseille, Ajax have both had quite a lot of drama this year. Maybe Ajax, if they win this game, they go to 5 points, and then all of a sudden their European journey is kind of salvageable, So big game for them. Brighton at home. No, I can't remember if they're at home or away. I think they're at home, but to Athens, if they get the points here, you've got to think they're quite confident they're going to progress. So again, I think all the cards involved in that will be pushing for it.
That game's in Greece.
Was it in Greece? I beg your pardon.
Huntington said Rennes are going to absolutely batter Maccabi. I thought they were playing. Is that who they're playing? I thought they were playing someone else. Oh no, I take it back. That's another one. That Rennes lineup has been a roller coaster recently, at least in defense.
Is Terrier back now?
Oh, back. Oh, he's back.
Back. Oh, brilliant. Oh, he's back. There we go. Love that. Nice. Good job.
Yeah, love to see big chance created for his assist. You got to love it.
Yeah. Well done, that man. Good recovery.
I mean, that's exactly how you would expect a recovery to go, right?
Yeah.
Just creeping up. I had a Rennes stack this week in Cap 240. And I had nice. Terrier to Bourgeot goal, and it was like,
yes, love that.
All right, let's see. Yeah, Jonathan said captain him this game week.
Wouldn't be a bad shout. I almost had a really good one at the weekend. Oyarzabal came off the bench for Sociedad, and like they had a free kick right at the end of the game. And between him and Blaise Mendes, they did that thing where they just kind of did a little pass to move the ball 3 yards, and then another one took a shot. I hope they work on that all the time now. I hope that's something they regularly practice, because that would just be glorious. We could get 4 of them a season or something,
Some final third passes to each other.
Just that wee pass and shot, just from the free kick. Love that.
I like it. All right, let's jump into. I think that was all of the teams, right? Yeah.
There was also another question in the chat I thought I'd bring up. Somebody asked at the very beginning, we were talking about Leverkusen and stuff. Frimmers or Grimmy from Aldo or Grimpong. And obviously we had Frimpong reigning supreme this weekend over Grimaldo.
That's right.
Which was good fun, good banter to see. Because that's what Frimpong does. He's in the box. He's always in the box. He's dying to score goals. So I don't think any of them will play this week, but to answer that, well, maybe Grimaldo might, but I don't know, like we mentioned with Leverkusen, a lot of rotation. But I just thought that comment was still in the back of my head. So I thought I'd throw that out there, just for the record, anyone listening.
Of course. Alex was saying that we have the Steele versus Verbruggen weekly dice roll, which obviously comes into play here as Verbruggen is the top ranked U23 goalkeeper, which, man, that's a tough one for sure.
Played the last game, didn't he? I think he played at the weekend. I think I seen him in the highlights anyway.
I thought so too. Yeah. And then let's see. Let me take these. He's out. Here we go.
Like, the way I think of this, right, is like Verbruggen is clearly what they see being the future goalkeeper for them, and he's just came from Belgium. You know, he's obviously like highly thought of, played youth internationals and stuff like that. But you know, they're also looking after his progression in that sense. They're trying to slowly bleed him in, but depends on how well he does. You know, I think you would need to actually watch him, which nobody likes really watching goalkeepers on Sorare too much. But it feels like, you know, this is probably not a situation that lasts like for their like career. I don't think this is. I think they want him to be the number one keeper, but he's also a young prospect, and they're trying to bring him through. So, it's very frustrating. But whenever I look at this, I just think one time we're going to look at this, and it's probably going to clear out a little bit, and there'll be a solid like L7 where you see he's actually finally like, yeah, he's in now, and the boy Steele has been confined to the bench, or maybe he's moved on something, or whatever. Because he's clearly like the talent of the team, isn't he? In terms of the signings they've made for goals.
It certainly seems that way, yeah.
Sherpin, they just loaned him out, you know. They didn't mess about with Sherpin, you know.
He's asking about Philip Jorgensen from Villarreal, new manager, so it's not clear whether Reina keeps the midweeks or not. Yeah, so Pepe Reina has been playing all the midweeks for Villarreal, but yeah, I don't know if Jorgensen gets all the domestic. I don't know. Is that something you switch so easily?
I'm not too sure. It depends on. So Marcelino, the manager that's come in there, I don't think he's prone to doing that kind of thing. Although it was Marseille recently enough, so I don't know if Marseille earlier this season were doing that kind of. Were they a little bit? Maybe they were. So maybe he's predisposed to that. Actually, as I'm thinking about it. But I do think also the way squads are set up when coming into a season, when a manager comes in, they'll be generally kind of briefed on the players' workloads and stuff like that, and it'd probably be presented to a manager in the sense of like, you've got these options, and it's probably a good spot to come into where it's like, well, you could actually choose goalkeepers that have minutes, that have reps, that have been playing, and, you know, maybe someone to keep that value in the squad by giving the minutes out and keeping them going that way all season until he really figures it out, perhaps. But some people, like, you know, you see it with like Ange at Tottenham, and you know, you see it at managers at clubs all the time, but generally what you find is a lot of guys want to nail in a goalkeeper and backline, get them playing every game week together, or every game together, and get that kind of cohesion built up. So I think this game will probably reveal what will happen for Villarreal for the rest of the European campaign.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one to make the leap on, I think, this time.
Where are they? Europa? Here they are. Yeah, so they'll keep going.
I wouldn't be surprised if they kept Reina for the consistency element, looking at the table there, because it is very much up in the air. Maccabi obviously having the situation having to play games like behind schedule and catch up kind of thing. That might play into Villarreal's hands when their game in hand comes back around. Since
right.
No. They'll be playing Panathinaikos this week, won't they? So that's a 6-pointer there. Because Maccabi are playing Rennes, we said before, didn't we? So
yes,
Villarreal will be playing Panathinaikos. So if they can, I think they'll probably play Reina for this weekend. I would imagine anyway. Keep the guys experienced in the team and been doing it.
Yeah. Jonathan said, Reina is older than my grandpa, and Jorgensen was amazing this weekend, so it's going to be very interesting. Both of those things were true before, though. Like none of those things were really... Like, Jorgensen has had some very good games, and like it doesn't help to come out with that. Mickey Fu said, Ren just got a new manager. We'll see if Mandanda continues to be the keeper midweek, which I have a Mandanda, so I assume he'll get benched just because. SR Monkey said Kelleher's still not popping on the pick scores. Oh, he's not. Is he
15-31?
Is he
he's not under 23?
Yeah, he's not even. Yeah, he should have
24.
That's weird.
He's not under 23 anymore, but
he's not. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So everyone's been quiet there.
Okay. So in terms of U23, we might have Verbruggen. We have Diogo Costa away to Barcelona. Bazunu, who is that? Bristol City. Trubin at home to Inter. And then Meslier Reste? It's not Restus, but that's what I'm going to have to say.
That's right.
Zach Hemming. Is that Van de Voort away to Fiorentina? This is nothing all that fun.
No, not at all. Even with Sherpin expected to be benched there on the pick scores, but I think we thought that was baloney. Actually, so Sherpin's the man, isn't he? So we think he's coming in. So I think Sherpin.
Poor form, huh? Why does he have poor form? What's he done lately? Just not play. I guess he hasn't been great. Yeah, I bet this goes up to a double A once enough people put in that he's going to start, if he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's more than I expected, to be honest. So, Mickey Fu said, this Zach Hemming just kept a clean sheet. I've never heard of him.
He's pretty good. I know a lot of people that follow Scottish football that quite rate him. I think he's a good goalkeeper. So St Mirren, one of the better teams in the league as well. I know the red dots there will probably hold him back to maybe just looking at the charts or whatever, very peaky. But by all accounts, very good goalkeeper. And I know a few people that rate him quite well.
How do you concede 4 to Dundee?
Scottish football, anything can happen.
Man. Somebody was looking for some Cap 220 cheat codes.
Ooh.
Ricky, yes, there are. So we've got Iñaki Peña for Barcelona. Somebody mentioned in the chat as well. Came on this weekend, or played this past weekend. Nothing spectacular, but an L15 of 0.
Is Ter Stegen injured?
Chani said something earlier, like, too bad we don't have Ter Stegen here. Shame Ter Stegen is out.
Ooh, wow.
So, I mean, they're home against Porto, which is not like a fantastic matchup, but it's probably fine. The one that I've seen some people talk about, and I say that because I did something myself, David Gill here is that Cadiz? Yeah. So Ledesma came off injured on the weekend. So Gill came on. He'll start this match against away to Mallorca, and then he'll have a 29 L15 next weekend for the away match to Celta Vigo. But I don't know. I don't know what the Ledesma injury was, but there was one. I don't know what the duration is. We'll see. But let's see. That is expecting a humongous score from Providel.
Yeah, they're probably expecting a clean sheet and we'll make 2 shots on target or something. So
I guess.
That'll be 74 points or something for him. Maybe he scores a goal. You never know.
There you go. That's true.
Hopefully I've not jinxed it. Hopefully I jinxed it in the right way.
Maybe. Did Shaw come back this weekend?
Oh, I think he did. Yes, I'm sure Luke Shaw played. That rings a bell. Yeah, not bad.
That's the worst L15. So this is the updated L15. Yeah. But that, 60 whatever still applies for this game week. So I'm guessing he's not. Yeah.
No cheat code.
Nope. Let's see what we got here. Mario Gila. So he came.
If he has to play against Celtic, then that's good for us rather than anything. He's not first choice for them. So if they're having to play him, I think somebody's injured. So that's good for me. Us, Celtic, I think. Because we're missing a few people for this. I think Celtic will have some good Cap 220 picks, depending on like who actually turns up in the match, if you get me. Like there'll be no Palma, there'll be no Maeda. So in terms of the forward positions, Mikey Johnson get decisive off the bench at the weekend. I don't think his L15 is particularly appealing. Mm-hmm. He's maybe favoured to start. Maybe Forrest. Forrest has got an L15. Yeah. Mikey Johnson's L15 is 39 and James Forrest has got an L15 of 37. Maybe one of them starts and gets a decisive. We'll probably only be Celtic fans to take that gamble, to be honest. But there's a couple of low scores in that team, certainly, but they're the only ones that I know about.
It's a lot of Lazio guys up here.
Well, I'll tell you one that I thought was quite fun, but I had to check the predicted team to see if he was going to be in it or not. Was a Braga player, funnily enough. I've got in my gallery. Let's see. We've got a team for Braga? No, we don't. I've got a Jean Moutinho from Wolves. He moved to Braga in the summer.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at his wee chart, he's been slowly like getting into the team and just about. He played against Real Madrid and then he played at the weekend. And I'm thinking, I think he's just about ready to come into the team. And like I mentioned before, Braga at home, Union Berlin change of manager. the old veteran coming in there to help the wee team in their time of need. So I'm playing him in my 220, L15 35. Should be on all the set pieces, you would imagine. Or maybe not them all. They've got another guy, Zalazar. I think he likes one or two of them. But
they have, was Estoril any good? Not really. It was a nice matchup for the weekend too.
Yeah. Wee Moutinho. I bought him when I was drunk for like 20 quid in the summer when the transfer went through. I seen it go through at like midnight and I was out, and I was like, just do it. One of those ones. Get the rare, 20 quid, why no? Or 30 quid or something. So finally he's playing.
Were made, surely. Johannesson said Livramento has a low L15 now. Let's see.
Now, the Newcastle group is the group of death, as we know, and it's still very much up in the air. Newcastle playing PSG this week, I think it is.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's hard to expect Newcastle will get anything from this game, but they did just batter Chelsea at the weekend 4-1. So, you never know in the Champions League. I do think the squad's quite thin. I did have Newcastle finishing this group in third place on 7 points. So I think they'll still get there, but I'm not sure they're going to pick up that last 3 points against PSG. I think they'll get it against, I think they've got AC Milan maybe last game. I need to double check their fixtures, but I don't think PSG's where they get 3 points, unfortunately. So if Livermento's a good cap price, that'll probably stay that way, in my opinion.
It's crazy to see Dortmund on 3 goals scored through 4 games and Milan with only 2.
Yeah. Well, the last game of the group is Newcastle at home to AC Milan. So I think Newcastle at St James's Park, last game of the group, they're going to beat Milan. I think that's the way it'll shake out. PSG will probably beat them. Dortmund will probably beat Milan. But that's just my thing. So yeah, I'm not too sure that 32 is going to be worth much, because if PSG, I don't know if you've seen the goals at the weekend, but if they get if they go into third or fourth gear against Newcastle, they could score 3 or 4 goals, no problem at all. Like, Pope's good. The defense is just about getting by, in that there might be some good scores for the keeper, but guys like Livramento, they don't have what Trippier has to protect him in terms of getting some final third output, or even what the centre backs have, and even winning duels and contests and effective clearances. Yeah, some of those, like a fullback like Livramento, might just get slaughtered in a game like this. AA wise.
Charlie Santino's scores have been great. Let's see.
Yeah. I suppose if he's left back and he's a right-footed, he's coming inside, so he's probably not whipping balls into the box, so the possession lost thing won't really affect him. But I suppose, 58 against Dortmund. But he was playing up front, according to SorareData.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So, okay, he's playing wide of a front three there. Yeah. If he plays there, then cool, because he'll be in the box a lot, doing a lot of final, so that's fine. If that happens, cool. But again, the goals conceded will probably...
That'll hurt.
Now look at the Dortmund game, 58. That's probably the best you can hope for if Newcastle don't win the match.
Right. Yep. And who brought up? Sorare Josh said, I like Gnabry for a low L15. Didn't even come off the bench last game, suggesting he'll play. I'm always so hesitant about guys who didn't. Oh, I guess he's been back. I didn't realize he had already started too.
They didn't make any subs, I don't think, in that match either. Bayern Munich. Memory serves me right. I think they
0.
Yeah. So maybe Coleman. See, Coleman always breaks. So maybe you rest Coleman for this match. You play Gnabry. People were asking about Musiala earlier on. I seen a video of Musiala doing individual training. So maybe he gets minutes in this game. I don't know if they would start him, because why bother? But maybe they get a wee bit of minutes. Last 15, 20. But yeah, no subs at the weekend. Makes you think Muller will probably start this one, maybe over Choupo-Moting perhaps, or one or two other moves like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're having to play like Mazraoui at left back, where he's usually on the right side. So they...
Well, I watched the game. See what they done? Is they actually swapped sides 3 or 4 times? Mazraoui and Laimer. Yeah, they just kept on. They just kept swapping around, and
that's fun.
It's really It's kind of nice how they're playing in that they're being the dominant team and just going, we only need 2 defenders on the pitch. So it's nice that they're just really embracing that and trying to cause overloads and stuff. But it is going to limit them against better teams, because you can't boss, Real Madrid and Inter Milan and teams like that in that way. So, yeah, they'll still be dominant in those kind of games. But yeah, Copenhagen, I'd probably see Gnabry come in, maybe Muller, some of those guys that didn't play on Friday night.
Tobias said he can't find Pena in amateur. So let's look. Can I even get to my La Liga? Oh,
I think that's right. No, that was it.
Here we go. Does he not have a common card? Does he have regular cards?
I think I seen a 3D one for this season when I was checking them out earlier.
Weird.
I might be wrong. No, that's an old season picture there.
Yeah, so there's no new season cards. What a waste. Yeah, this is the same picture too. Maybe he'll be on one of those new player drops that they have. What is those, Tuesdays? Is that when they do them?
Tuesdays,
right after the deadline, so we can't get it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so yeah, nothing.
Kudus as well, by the way. Don't know if you've seen the West Ham goals from the weekend, but Kudus was on it, like big time.
Oh yeah,
and I know it was a good game for West Ham, but oh no, he was thoroughly looked good, like dancing by players, putting balls into the box. He got 2 decisives, I think. I forget if it was two assists or a goal and an assist, but or did he not get? Oh, he never got credited with one of them. That's unusual. Oh, maybe been 2 assists, but the other one might have been like a second assist, and I just
yep,
something like that maybe. But I know he was on it at the weekend. Yeah, that penalty conceded. That's good. That'll keep people off the radar of him. But he looks to have hit that Premier League adaptation. Kind of talked about it with the goalkeeper earlier. Slightly different for an outfielder, but when I was watching the highlights of West Ham, I was like, wow, he's really on the level now.
Yeah. And he was saying they changed to an own goal. That's why the assist was gone.
Ah, is that what it was?
Hate that. Okay. Do we have anything else?
I think that's probably the long and short of it. I think
a
lot of cards to go out. The 220 scores, where we're kind of mentioning them earlier, but I'd be interested to see what people do with 220s in these midweeks. Like if you have a couple of cards, do you take that, wild card? I've got another score opportunity here. Maybe make up for the sins of the weekend if someone let you down, or do you ignore it and keep with whatever you've been doing in the midweeks anyway? Be an interesting dynamic this game week.
Yeah, that will be a fun one. We'll see about that one. All right. Yeah. Thank you to everybody for joining. Glenn said, are there any cheat code 0 commons? The only one that we saw before was that David Gill from Cadiz. He'll be a 0 for this midweek. So there you go. And a 28 for next weekend. So yeah, thank you to everybody for joining. If you could please subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to this guy. To my, I guess you're actually on my right, but it looks like my left over here. But anyway, thank you to everybody for joining. And we'll be back on Wednesday to talk about the weekend game week. And yeah, so there's that. Thank you to everybody, and we'll see you soon.